Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Jay. Welcome to my channel, Still Becoming. So today I'm calling all my moms and my dads to the front row. Come on down, okay? Because we about to have a serious talk. And as a matter of fact, you know what? You don't necessarily need to be a mom or a dad, okay? This could be grandma, auntie, whoever. Listen, everybody come watch this video because we about to have a conversation about pornography and masturbation. Now, I know this is a topic of discussion many parents are not excited to have, okay? We want to preserve our kids' innocence for as long as possible. But unfortunately, the world that we live in today, baby, it make it so hard, okay? Because sex is literally everywhere. It's on TV, video games, social media. They friends is telling them about it. It's pretty much no escaping it. Now, I have been putting this conversation off for as long as possible, okay? It's not that I didn't want to talk to him. I just wasn't sure what to say and when to say it for fear that I might pique his interest too early, okay? I didn't know. This is like uncharted territory for me, and my parents never had one single conversation with me about sex, okay? The most I think somebody might have told me was wait until you married. You know what I'm saying? Don't have sex before marriage. And what is that? That's not telling me nothing, okay? That's not telling me nothing. So I didn't want my son to have to go through the same thing I went through. I wanted to make sure that I gave him the information, you know, when the time does come, that he will be equipped with the info. Also, I talked to my friends and none of their parents ever had conversations with them either, okay? So this was uncharted territory for me. Now, statistics say 11 is the average age kids are exposed to porn, right? Now, the world we live in today means it's probably way younger than that, okay? Now, being that my son was 13, I was seriously behind. So I hurry up and grab my notebook and my laptop. I need to go online and figure out what other parents were telling their kids. I wanted to make sure that I approached the situation the best way possible and I covered all my bases, okay? So that I was able to hit them with the key points, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't have to double back 2 days later like, oh, by the way. And since my son is a little bit older, I will be going a little more in depth, okay? So the best way I wanted to have this conversation was during a car ride. In my opinion, it's such a relaxed environment. It's very comfortable. We've had some of our best conversations during our car rides, okay? So I was like, come on, let's get in the car, come on. And we headed over to Chick-fil-A. I put in a little order for some milkshakes. And once we got that, we began to cruise, baby. I put a little music on low. And, you know, just create a good ambiance, okay? Make it real relaxed for him. Now, parents, before you get too deep into the conversation, very important, you need to remain calm. Keep facial expressions to a minimum, okay? Just keep them right here, you know what I'm saying? And make sure that you're honest throughout the conversation. And the thing you want to leave with is telling them, hey, sex and masturbation is very natural. It's something to be ashamed about, okay? Then what I also wanted to do was ask him, what do you know about it? You know, that way I can kind of correct any misinformation that they already might have. So let's jump right into the top 13 things that you should explain to your child about masturbation and pornography. Reality versus fantasy. Number one of the most important things that you need to lead with is that porn is based in fantasy, not necessarily reality, okay? The images are not an accurate representation of interaction, relationships, physical appearance, as well as safety. Number two, sex comes with emotion and plenty of conversation, things that you are really never going to see in porn, okay? Communication is very, very important when it comes to sex so that you and your partner can understand each other's wants and needs. Starting with the most important thing, which is verbal consent, okay? Never, ever assume anything about sex. Always want to make sure that your partner is comfortable with whatever it is that you're doing, so make sure you get that verbal consent. Number three, since there are various type of porn categories out there, you might want to explain to your kids that they might run across some content that, you know what I'm saying, is a little risque. It's out there, okay? You just want to let them know that, hey, this is not how everyone engages or has sex. You don't need to expect your partner to do those things to you, and you're not expected to do those things to your partner. This is why communication is so important, so everybody knows what's going on. Consent has already been obtained. You know, you always want to make sure that you ask questions, okay? Number four, when it comes to physical appearance, men and women will often have surgically or hormonally enhanced bodies. Not to mention, camera angles can further exaggerate things. So it's important to let our kids know that they don't need to compare their body parts or expect theirs to look like that or their partners to look like that. Number five, though you will rarely see condoms in pornography, practicing safe sex, honey, is a must at all times, okay? Period, poo. Don't let them get it twisted, you know what I'm saying? Let them know that safe sex is very, very important at all times. Number six, explain to the kids that porn is a form of entertainment, okay? It is not a tutor for sex education or how to have a sexual healthy relationship. Moving right along to the dangers of porn. Number seven, Porn is big business, okay? And while there are plenty of people who do sign up to work in this industry, there are also a lot of people who are forced to work in this industry, okay? Affecting mostly children and women. So it's important for them to know that sex trafficking is a factor in this, okay? Sex trafficking is a billion-dollar business, you know what I'm saying? And so you want to just let them know that, hey, watching pornography could indirectly be supporting sex trafficking. And I wanted to make sure that number one, because it's a super, super important topic that just plagues us all. But I also wanted to try to maybe deter him from watching it if I could. So that was kind of my thing, and throwing that in there as well. Number 8, it is illegal to send sexually explicit content to anybody under the age of 18. So you want to make sure that you explain that to your kids. Never ever send anything to anybody, okay? And especially do not send any nude photos. Ain't gonna be no sexting going on here, okay? Also, let them know that, hey, you run the risk of this being exposed or shared on social media, you know, so you definitely don't want to put yourself in a position to have your stuff out there like that. Not to mention, you can also be criminally charged for sending these type of things. So let them know, don't send nothing, okay? Number 9, porn is known to have adverse effects on your personality, your relationships, your focus, your daily activities. Honestly, there have been stories where people have really been affected and have gained a porn addiction. So you want to let them know that if you feel like it's becoming too overwhelming or it's just taking over your life, that, hey, this is actually something very common that people do go through, and you can honestly seek help for it. So let them know that. Number 10, let your kids know to not give out any personal information online. I mean, you've probably already had this conversation with them before on other things, but you also want to just let them know, hey, don't sign up for nothing. Don't chat with anybody on these websites, because they are very predatory. They could hack your computer. Just anything could happen and give you a virus, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, you don't want them to be trying to establish a relationship with anybody. So don't be chatting with nobody. Don't give out nothing, period. So next up is cleanliness, privacy, as well as their bodies, okay? Number 11, watching porn or masturbating should never ever be done in public, only in your private space, you know? Make sure that when they are doing this, that they should lock the door as well, just to kind of keep anybody from walking in on them or anything like that, okay? So it's very important that they do this in the privacy of their own space. Number 12, good hygiene is important. You want to let the kids know to wash their hands before and after. That way they don't transfer any bacteria over to their private areas, because we do not want any infections, okay? So washing their hands, very important, disposing of any body fluids, washing their sheets, and things of that nature. Now, number 13, because I do have a boy, I wanted to break down a few key terms, which was wet dreams, what an erection is, what ejaculation is. That way he kind of knew what to expect, you know, when his body did these things. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's 1 through 13. This is all the things that I told my son. Of course, you can tailor this to your specific needs, just depending on how old your child is, and, you know, break it down to however it is that you want to tell them, okay? This is not a one and done conversation. You will have to continue to have conversations about sex as they mature, and just new information gets entered into the chat, okay? Because listen, I had this little boy at my son's school. Every day at like lunch, they were having sex education time, okay? And the little boy was telling him all types of things. I mean, they talked about bestiality. I mean, listen, the conversation that I would have with my child after school was, woo. So listen, if you don't do it, somebody else will. So make sure that you were talking to your children, okay? Also want to add that moms, it's important for us to get in there and talk to our sons, okay? Dads, talk to your daughters, you know what I'm saying? And go into a deep discussion with it, because sometimes we just touch on the surface, because I know it's really uncomfortable, but we got to let them know all the facts, because if we are not the source, they will get it from somebody else. So I feel like it's cool, because each parent, or, you know, each, you know, male or female is going to have a different perspective on how to address things or how to deal with things. You know, there are going to be situations that but I just feel like it might be better for a woman to answer, you know, and vice versa. So guys, just take a deep breath, okay? Go on that car ride that I told y'all, you know what I'm saying? And have the talk. Just have the talk, get it over with. Open that line of communication so that it'll just hopefully be a little easier the next time around, okay? I will see you guys next time. Deuces.